good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound. Oh, hill and dale, hill and dale. Gaily they ring while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding dong, night is the song. Ring, joyful ring, all bells cling. Ding on they send, dawn without end. A joyful tune to every home. Oh, call the bells, sweet silver bells. All seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old. Ring on the board, ding dong, that is their song. Sweet joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound. Oh, hill and dale, gaily they ring while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding dong, that is the song. Sweet joyful ring, all caroling. Ding on they send, dawn without end. A joyful tune to every home. Dawn on they send, dawn without end. A joyful tune to every home. Ding dong, ding dong.
Welcome back to Plasticon Reviews. Today we're doing a very special holiday episode starring me, along with my fellow Cybertronians. Going to start out with a little bit of mood music. Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are your branches. Oh, Christmas tree, I want to shoot them with my laser beams and watch them flame above your gleam.
I can do better than that. On the first day of Christmas, Lord Megatron gave to me a scar on my right.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Now you can fight mighty battles of Trax and the Virox armies. Recently, the minor battle skirmishes between these two countries erupted in full-scale war. Hundreds of land and air combat vehicles battled across the land. With their huge fighting machines, they staged the most massive battles ever. The largest armies in the world are in your hand. Take command! Megaforce, brought to you by Kenner. Sub-assembly required. Vehicles sold separately.
My name's Plasticon, and this is my boomstick. I play a dwarf. And I like guns. And I like guns. Pew pew, ka-choo, pew. Got your DPS! Multi-shot for the win! My name's Plasticon. I like to shoot stuff. World of Warcraft. What's your game?
On the 11th day of Christmas, Lord Megatron gave to me 11 mass chances, 10 mid-cons, 9 space bridges, 8 clones of me, 7 Terracons, 6 Insecticons, 5 Cybertronian relics, 4 Omega Light Keys, 3 Energon Cubes, 2 T-Cogs, and the score on my right side cheek. On the 12th day of Christmas, Lord Megatron gave to me 12 escape routes, 7 task chances, 10 vehicles, 9 space bridge, 6 enemies, 2 cons, 6 and 5 Cybertronian relics, 4 Omega 4 keys, 3 energon gives 2 T-cards, and the score on my right side cheek right here.
Generation 2 Omega Supreme, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Remember, save the polar bears this winter. Welcome back to yet another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover Generation 2 Omega Supreme. Out for the holidays, there is Generation 2 Omega Supreme. He is completely awesome. Omega Supreme actually holds a very special place in my collection. I had one when I was a child. It was the coolest toy ever, and this thing is just amazing. Obviously, it's got its entire track mode, and it's got the entire central base, along with the large rocket that it launches. Not to mention the tank. Taking a closer look at Omega Supreme's tank, it is fairly large. This is a very, very large vehicle, especially for G2. This entire thing actually is motorized and geared, so if you were playing with this thing as a child, you couldn't move the turret unless you clicked it back a little bit, and then you could. You just literally click it back one little click, and then you can move it around, and then it will do its little bobbing up and down thing without actually engaging the motors to keep it from actually stripping out, because this toy is motorized. It takes 2 AA batteries to go on the inside. Not to mention the gold plastic going on here. I don't know if it's a gold plastic barrel. It's pretty cool. It's got these other large cannons here on either side that, they got a little bit of articulation in this mode, but not much. You actually can extend them if you want to. It is part of the transformation, but you can do that in order to fire them off at a higher level, but it kind of retracts the cannon when you do that. It does have these nice big treads that do not move. These are not moving treads. They are big plastic things. It actually has a set of wheels under here, along with a set of motorized wheels with little bitty rubber grips. It's very cool. It's very awesome. I do love this thing. This thing's very hefty, especially once you get the batteries in there. It's very, very cool. I love this thing. It makes my eyes so giddy. And just the colors, it's just like this screams Christmas, guys. Come on. This is a very Christmassy type of toy. Especially if you're going to make him go around the tree, like we're about to do right now. As you can see, it's a very loud toy. So, if you want a quiet toy, this is not a quiet toy. It's very loud. It's very cool, though. I do like the idea that this thing actually has a moving tank portion that goes around an entire track. This track is all interlocked, and it holds together very well. You can actually pick up the track by any part of it and actually hold it up without it actually falling apart, which is kind of neat. So let's take a closer look at the rocket base in the center. Here's the rocket base. The rocket base primarily consists of this larger portion here and the rocket itself. The rocket is actually pretty neat. It's got a nice little G2 emblem right here on the end here, and it does have ability if you really wanted to actually act like it was taken off. It can take off. This here can actually retract down even more if you wanted to. It's soft detented, so it doesn't really lock very well, but it is kind of neat that you can make him stand just like that if you wanted to, just to give him a little bit more height to the rocket if you wanted. It does have ability to split apart because parts former you know, everybody hates part former, right? I don't. Sorry. To me, most Transformers are parts formers, especially when you have to take the gun off and you put it in the guy's hand. Sorry, it's part. There you go. Especially you guys out there collecting Headmasters now. But, at any rate, it's very cool. I do like this. This is the central part of the base. It's got what could possibly be a ramp system here for the Autobots to take and go in here in order to help kind of operate the rocketry. Now this does have ability to actually open the entire back portion of this, and you can open it up. It actually goes up only to about that height, but if you really wanted to, you can probably maybe be able to fit a Micromaster in between here. You really can't fit much at all back here in the very back. That's why this primarily just kind of stays closed and looks more like the refueling system or the cooling system for the rocket to be launched. It does have these right here, which is supposed to be docking arms, so you can really kind of put the rocket way up in here like this. That way, it's got a way for the robots or humans or whoever is actually getting into the rocket to launch in orbit can actually board. It's very cool. I do like this part of the entire toy. It's just this is just awesome. But let's move on and take a little closer look at the track. Taking a closer look at just the track portion. The track portion actually has this nice kind of detail just throughout the whole thing. It's got this very interesting kind of, I don't know, slit detail here. It goes way up to just about here, only on the red. This is primarily for traction for the tank to actually grab because of the little rubber treads. It's got really nice vented detail throughout the entire thing, and it's got these little ports right here, which to me, these are like either refueling stations or command posts or something like that, because there are 4 of them. There's one here, one on the opposite side, and then there's one up here a little bit further, right here. Very neat, and I do like the idea that this whole thing is red, and this is like that nice teal. It looks very cool, it's very cohesive, and it works very well. And like I said, I mean, you can pick the entire thing up just fine with the nice assembly and interlocking system this thing has. This thing's got a great interlocking system. There's a lot of people out there, like I said, don't really like parts forming, and I personally am a big fan of parts forming. I like the idea that you can take something apart and put it back together because of Lego. So, I do like this. But let's go ahead and move on to actually taking this thing apart and then putting this thing together into Omega Supreme. Generation 2 Omega Supreme in his full-on robot mode. You can obviously tell he is a very, very tall Transformer. He is probably one of the tallest in the entire line. The colors here just completely work. It's very cool how the wings on the back almost look like a cape. I've always loved that. And I like the idea, you know, you can take these extra pieces here if you really wanted to, and you can stick these on there to actually make larger, like big gigantic C's on his back, which makes it look like he's got these gigantic wings and is able to fly just in this mode. He's got very cool articulation with the arms. Arms do move up and down. He does have a bit of an in and out with the arm. That's about all, really. You can turn his head, because his head does turn, just because of the gun on the back and the wings. It does tend to get in the way sometimes, so sometimes you have to flip the gun up and over. It's very cool. I do like it. He is probably one of the best, in my opinion, of the entire G2 line. I love this guy. He also has a walking capability if he'll walk very good on there. He doesn't really like to walk very well on this material, but he does walk. And he is actually moving very slowly, but he's moving. And his head lights up. So, you know, it's just very difficult for the ground here to allow him to walk very well. Like I said, he's probably one of the loudest Transformers you're ever going to have in your entire collection. Next to maybe, I'd say, Galvatron or Soundwave, or even if you have a Trypticon, he's pretty loud too. Skylinks is actually the, I wouldn't think he's as loud as this guy, but this guy's always been very loud to me. I do like him. He's very cool. He does happen to have a opening claw now, considering he's got the nice gold plastic going on here with the opening claw, which is kind of nice. So he is able to kind of grip maybe a few smaller Transformers, nothing big, but he is very cool. I do like the idea of the blaster cannons right in the middle of it. He is just awesome. I love Generation 2 Omega Supreme. He is cool, and you guys need to catch more of this stuff because I have plenty more coming. Give you guys a bit of a size comparison. Here's a bit of a size comparison next to Generation 2 Abominus, G2 Laser Rod, Soundwave, and G2 Skids. It all works. It's very cool. He is probably the coolest thing that I actually have. I love this guy. He is definitely got a place in my heart because he's just very cool. You guys catch more of this stuff because I'll actually have more coming your guys' way. This has been Plasticon. This has been the NR G2 review because, you know, awesome. Because G2 is awesome. I'll catch you guys around. Bye!